Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. Welcome to another welcome to another live. How are you doing? I'm telling you guys, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. I saw my face look wrong. There was an earthquake today, 5.4 measured. Anyway, blessings guys, how are you doing? This is Lady B. I'm here to talk a little bit about the earthquake and to show some little videos that have been going around on TikTok and that I've received in my inbox. So let us get to it. So if you're not here yet or not here now, there was an earthquake in Jamaica. Wait, let me save my live. Cause I always talk like say me know say me live, and then next thing you know, me not hear nothing. Alright, let me check this out. Not here now. Alright. Me up and running. Yes, so me could get back to the details. So basically today I was at the car dealer because something went wrong with my truck and I had to bring it in. And when I check the internet, I tell you say enough things are going. First of all, one of my brethren send me one clip. And I say, wait, what is going on so? But you know, me never get to even cover that. But you know, when I check on my families, everybody was okay. Some never really feel the earthquake because we come from the western part of Jamaica, and basically the earthquake happened in the eastern. And probably them have Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. So basically, those are the three counties in Jamaica. So in the US, we have counties in different states. But how Jamaica set up, we have parishes. Parishes would be like counties. And counties in Jamaica would be like states in the US. So the counties are the bigger portion of the country, because we have three main counties: Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey, while we have 14 parishes. So basically the earthquake, based on what I'm getting, was felt in this Middlesex area and up in the Surrey area. So it's like mid Jamaica to the eastern, northern Jamaica. You can't say northern Jamaica, I guess. So a 5.4 magnitude earthquake in Jamaica today. And today is Monday. So if you're watching this video, I'm talking about Monday, the 30th of October. What did they put in there, man? Them people are nice. Anyway, people flee buildings because the way it was. I mean, I gotta look a little bit more into the Richter scale, because what is used to measure earthquake is the Richter scale, and what it does is measure the movement of the seismic waves. Let me tell you, let me see. You know, like when people are doing lie detector tests and it move like that. Yeah, it a cross up. That's more like how the thing work. So the Richter scale measures the seismic waves to see how strong it is on the scale. All right, because that's the kind of waves that happen when we have earthquakes. So there was a lot of damages, but nothing really serious. You know, I saw a few videos and I'm going to show them to you in a minute, which you probably see them already, but I don't know if you see them again. All right. So we have heavy shaking, knockout power in some areas, but no serious damage. Food, wine bottles, and other stuff tumbled off shelves in grocery stores. Some minor damage to buildings were reported. The tremor epicenter was about 2 miles, 4 kilometers west-northwest of Hope Bay in northeastern Jamaica. Northeastern. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, it occurs at a shallow depth of 6 kilometers, 6 miles or 10 kilometers. So that's depth into the Earth's crust. That's how deep into the Earth's crust it occurred. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said no deaths, injuries, or severe damage had been reported. I'm going to make an ear from the RC's mouth in a minute. Damage has been minor, but nevertheless, he said they were taking precautions. And I was listening to him when he was live at one point, and he was telling them that after the earthquake, you probably will have aftershocks. So they should still remain vigilant. You understand? So there was temporarily power cut and phone services. I'm here Triple X was talking about was really bigging up some of the steel company, the cement company, because he was saying basically the structure, some of the structures or buildings in Jamaica were so strong. If it was some other places in the US have that level earthquake, it would probably cause more damage than in Jamaica. But we don't know, so houses in Jamaica are, the foundation is very, very, well, the foundations are very well structured. The tremor sparked fear on the island, with some people rushed to the hospital for panic attacks, because we have never seen such an earthquake in a while in Jamaica. I think they said in 30-something years. I forgot to check the data. Participants at the UN International Seabed Authority meeting that began Monday could be seen fleeing on camera before the broadcast cut off. The group eventually returned but decided to postpone the meeting to late afternoon amid jitters. So it affected a lot of people. We need some time to adjust emotionally, said Elsa Maria Marcelino de Castro, Brazil's representative. So they were having some kind of meeting there. One journalist, and we saw that clip used, and I'm telling you, this was really, really good that people know what to do in an earthquake, because I'm wondering though, if I mean, I even find when my iPad there so I can watch it chat. I'm wondering if they have earthquake drills in Jamaica. You know, me I forgot to ask my sister to find out if my nephew's school do earthquake drills, because they should be doing one earthquake drill every month, so people know what to do in an earthquake. Because my thing now, I don't know if it happen at schools, what happened. Me not see none with school yet, so me need to check that out. One journalist, Cliff Hughes, CEO of Nationwide News Network, was on the air in Jamaica when the groundbreaking started. And he said, you know, we're having an earthquake. And I know that video probably went viral. And when he saw that it was stronger, he just went under the desk, which is one of the ways in which you need to be. But I mean, I know they say if you go in a door jam. They say if you stand in a one strong door jam. But what if it's a lot of people and we don't have enough door jam? I'm trying to find my iPad. But yes, guys, it was tragic. Well, not tragic, but it was not tragic, but it was just shocking. Alright, let me find my iPad so I can monitor and see who in the chat. It was not tragic, but it was just frightening, because it's been a while since that type of earthquake touched down a yard. Alright? But this is something that the Minister of Education should consider. Make sure there's an earthquake drill every time, like once a month or something like that. Especially if they check the data and they realize that there's always a earthquake a certain time of the year and them something there. Because I think listen, me need to study. Actually, I'm supposed to be teaching about earthquakes, but I'm thinking that they should be doing earthquake drill at school. What to do when there's an earthquake? Because when I was growing up and going to school, we used to have earthquake drills. All right. While earthquakes are common in and around Jamaica, some 200 years ago, strong ones are rare. Some 200 a year, strong ones are rare. So there was an earthquake in Port Royal in 1692, with the portion of the town sinking into the sea. Then in 1907, a quake struck the capital of Kingston, killing more than 1,000 people. Another big quake was reported in 1957, the time them in a born yet, affecting mostly western Jamaica, according to the University of West Indies in Mona. The inland sits atop the island sits. No, I'm not going to go through the messenger. Anyway, but basically what they're saying is that the earthquake was a 5.4 magnitude, and an earthquake of such magnitude probably would have caused more damage if we didn't have the structure houses we have in Jamaica. All right. So if you don't like it video yet, if you have not yet hit the like button, go ahead and do so. I'm going to look for something more about earthquake before I show you some of those other videos. Earthquake. Yes, man. And they've been like various. Okay, so we're gonna hear from, what is Twitter? Alright, I'm gonna play the Andrew Olness video here. Me hope say it loud enough. As me have to find my the Bluetooth speaker. So there are some other videos that I see going on TikTok.
What size?
How was the experience?
I'm going to show some of them video here.
You know, I think
Earthquake hit Jamaica today.
This is a Cliff Views one. Wait, let me what? A TikTok me pan. This is where sure.
you know, I think at the time.
Earthquake hit Jamaica.
So this is the one with Cliff Views, right? Well, no, this is a compilation. This is a compilation. Let me show the ones I'm just get. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, that chair you see. A chair coming like the earthquake. Every minute. Slide down. Alright, so let me show you this. I think this one was. This one is the one with the supermarket. Me see a lot of people are sure. Let me go get my speaker. Let me get my speaker to make sure I say it. This sound is good when I play back the video. All right. Flip 4. All right. Let's get down to business. Alright, so this is one with the supermarket. If you have not yet seen it, you can look at it. What the heck is happening with this? My beats are connect. Disconnect. Alright, flip forward. This one for play.
Yes, Eartquake this man. Yo, man, I'm afraid. No, it's Eartquake like this yet. Yeah, man. And yeah, this one is fucking. Yo, I dance to do that down in the drop. Yo. I don't feel supposed to piss up himself. Yo, a joke thing. Earthquake are serious.
All right, so that was one incident. Let me see the another incident.
Someone.
All right, so that was another situation. Good, man. So in this one you have so in this, let me turn this down. In this one you have the supermarket with a lot of stuff falling off the falling off the shelves, shaking off the shelves, bottles breaking and goods and all kind of stuff all over the place. So this is the effect of the 5.4. They said estimated 5.6, 5.5, 5.4. So, you know, it's around that range. So this is the effect of one of that type of earthquake in this store. Luckily no one, well, me not gonna say luckily no one, you know, but it don't look like nobody get damaged right there. So that's a good look. Oh my goodness. And this one now is the boulders and the hillside or whatever you call it, the landscape breaking away and falling to pieces. No, that sounds like me I exaggerate, but the big boulders and boulders breaking apart, you know, based on the trigger from the land. I mean, based on the trigger from the earthquake. You know, my gosh. Let me look on it one more time. So that's the hillside breaking away and falling apart and too close. All of that. Look at those big boulders. Luckily no one was in that area to get hurt because them big rock them on. Now this is another video of a house that where the wall seemed to have been cracked. Another wall crack. Anyway, things fall apart, fall on the floor. This is another house shaken down or shaken out or shaken up. This is another one with a crack in the wall. See that? Them here must be so long time also when not a good I don't know what to say. Then I saw the earthquake heavy. This is another picture of the inside of the house, stuff falling down, shaking and falling apart. And you know, they said that when there's an earthquake, you're supposed to run, go stand up in a one door jam. So a lot of times when things happen, it's like you're so shocked, you don't know what to do to rotted. Alright, so there's also a video with Andrew. We got here a little bit from Andrew Holness. When this about the earthquake situation. And this is a Cliff Hughes piece. This is a Cliff Hughes scenario.
An earthquake
This is a Cliff Hughes scenario.
documented in a CARICOM statement. Fine. Why did we miss the vote then? There had been an earthquake. Oh God.
I'm not laughing, guys, but he did the right thing. He just go under the table. I don't know if it's the right thing, but at least in shelter, in run for cover. So, he went for cover. All right. So let's head over.
Not everyone would try and do music.
Let's head over to TikTok, because I saw a video with Sean Paul. He was on an interview, and this is what happened.
It's
a different field. A lot of people was like,
earthquake.
oh shit, we're having an earthquake.
Alright, let's start it over here. Sean Paul said, shit, we're having an earthquake. God knows, I mean, really, they laugh off by the situation, you know, but I don't know if we should have laughed.
Oh my God.
You know, I think at the time, like, not everyone would try and do music because it was even more, like, rare that you would make it. And then if you did make it, it's like, will you actually make it? It's a different playing field.
It's a different field.
Yeah.
A lot of people was like, oh shit, we're having an earthquake.
Oh my God, what?
Fuck.
Yeah, so it was Sean Paul on a live interview during the earthquake.
Who feels a 5.6 earthquake? 5.6 in Kingston, Jamaica today.
Let's turn up one place. Everybody get paranoid to earthquake. Lick them jaw, lightning and thunder on them ass. Blood clot, we keep pushing on the pan a video one time that I go on. And I do it after, man, get it damage, man. After catch earthquake damage, though. Sick lad, earthquake about 7.5, man, I see him. Okay. Damage, earthquake, all the tile off of the wall, shake off. Shake off. Damage. Earthquake shake on the whole place. Yeah, man, done. Earthquake a shake. Yeah, man. Earthquake, the way them damage are bossy. I just get a call and say earthquake a come back, you know. You say my turn back a come back, so you better worry you understand. You know, break all the thing there. Yeah, break all the thing there. Damage. Complete. I tell them shake up upstairs, dog. You know go.
Look at that one. That one was cotton. So what I'm showing you are some different scenarios where there were some damages to buildings regarding to the earthquake. Let's see. Look on this one. This one is showing you in the back part of the that's showing you some hill shaking over, shaking down, or whatever you might call it. Could a man be blood cleavers? No, so I couldn't keep them here to myself. Me have to show you too. Oh my goodness. Let me see what else they here, so. This is a store. This is our store. I think me just show this. Alright, this was at a beach in the grill.
Coming out, you guys. Oh my God. Nikki, I told you I'm recording it now. Oh my God. Mick, help me up. Help me up.
I have
Oh my God.
ever.
I've never felt one in my life. I need to hold somebody. I'm scared. That was incredible.
I want to see that again. That was the
Has that ever happened here?
Never. I swear to God, I've been here 25 times. That's never fucking happened.
That's fucking crazy. Now let's watch the ocean. The ocean will come up. The ocean will come up.
Tell me we're not going to have
The ocean will come up.
That's the wildest fucking thing ever.
Look at everybody. That's fucking crazy. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody, just watch that ocean. We don't know what's going to happen. That was a big earthquake. I'm like shaking.
Well, I'm glad there was
It wasn't the
tsunami
brownie either.
after the earthquake.
I still feel it.
What was it?
What size earthquake this, man? What size earthquake this in the back of the yard? What this in the back of the yard? Earthquake! Change up in the ways. Change in the ways. See that? She ends up in the funny grounds. What size earthquake this one? What size?
So this guy is showing his yard, the back of his yard,
This, back of the yard.
with earthquake effects of the earthquake.
This is the airport. This is where the whole of this part was shaking. Everything was coming down. Look at the ground.
Right, airport this
This
year?
is the airport where we are. The whole of this iron was swinging.
Right.
This is the airport. This is where the whole of this part was shaking. Everything was coming down. Look at the ground. See the thing? This is the airport where we are. The whole of this iron was swinging. This is the airport. This is where the whole of this part was shaking. Everything was coming down. Look at the ground. See the thing? This is the airport where we are. The whole of this iron was swinging.
You serious, man? Big earthquake in Jamaica. This is another one. There's a lot of video over TikTok, you know, brother.
That's a go on. Look on this. This is outside of the yard. Look there.
Look at the crap, man.
Outside of the
Oh
yard.
my
This.
gosh.
Look there. Oh, people are open good here. Serve God and live. This is a go on. Look where I go on with the earthquake of Jamaica. Yeah.
Jamaican people felt the strongest earthquake.
Oh, that's serious. Wicked earthquake up at the fuck. The whole of my head a shake. My head hurt me. No, sir.
Jamaican people, this is how you operate when there's an earthquake.
Fine. Why did we miss the vote then? We're having an earthquake. Oh.
Them have to go patch that the wall left up now. Them have to go patch up the wall it's working. So the only thing is there's a whole lot of different concepts of what type of earthquake. Some say 7.0. Bottom. We're on the earthquake. Cause this what Jesus said. Hey, bottom. Put there. No, something never sit down on here before.
That's me something about it.
So then, man.
Watch out.
That's right. You know, so that could have caused accident.
Hey, bottom.
That's me something about it.
There could be a tsunami, you know.
Watch out.
I think. Start the work on this
Never see this from a band. Oh God, Blanca shop. Judgment. May make me drop though. The lady said we not for run out. The building a Shake Hotel. Mighty God of Daniel. Lord Jesus. We see judgment look while Blanca shop. I see that building here shake. It all away there, nobody can come out. God have mercy upon we, Father God. Mercy, Father. What the whole place dark. Me say everybody else we know if you move, if you don't move on the building can come down pound head. Mercy, Jesus, me never go back in the fear side, they go finish take me stock. Father God. Blanca shop are the first in my life me ever experience an earthquake also. That's if you get Jordan. If you get fresh. Lord Jesus, Blanca shop. That I come for you well. Me say the first, the building shake two sides, we in a LP Azara. Me say, Blanca shop are the first never see Jamaica people a ball. So, merciful God, this is not real. Never see this from a ball.
Yo, my people, big earthquake going on a while ago.
Enough things are going over TikTok. Let me see. If I somebody feel, what is?
Yeah, the truck yard. I'm gonna say the truck them start. The wall of the truck start shake from side to side. The man want to unpack the truck, and the wall of the truck shake from side to side with them. Literally a wobble. I stay a wobble from side to side, so couldn't believe it. Every step I feed them life.
Me glad everybody alright.
But the outside.
When this blood clot earth vex, God earth vex now, you know. The earth itself.
Earthquake makes everybody running. Look what the earthquake caused in front of Master Max Stony Hill Square.
Oh my gosh.
Earthquake makes everybody running.
So I am so happy that nobody was injured in the earthquake. But as far as I know, people just probably get panicky, but there was no injury in terms of, you know, anything serious. That's as far as I know. .2, some say 5.2, some say 5.4. Some say... Okay, I need to find the Andrew video.
Earthquake, 10:58 a.m.
58. Earthquake. The place shake up, man. Everywhere shake up, man. You hear about everywhere. Watch that. Everywhere, people. Watch that.
Could they light post, mirror?
Watch the people. Everywhere.
5.2 magnitude earthquake, 10:58 a.m.
58.
When if LA Louis gonna say nothing about the airport? When they have this so serious, this and true. Also, I need to tap loud. Alright. Oh my God. That's why they always say That's why they say not to hang. I don't know if you don't know this, but they said not to hang like heavy stuff behind your couch. Like, me used to have a mirror hang behind the couch there. And me take it down because after reading some stuff, it said never hang like heavy stuff behind places where you sit down, especially a mirror. Because anything happen and the place start shake, it's a hazard. So, you know. I don't know if you don't see the video with Slick White Line, but me glad say Slick White Line. But me glad say it was not anything serious, like you never get no bad damage. And he must say at the first me frightened so. And me I go show you. No probably see it already, but I don't think this is a real something. We probably are getting ready for one video. And earthquake started.
Earthquake in Jamaica, 5.2 felt like a 7.
Oh, Jesus.
We thank you, Lord, for your mercy and your goodness. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Lord. Praise your name, Lord. Praise your name. We knew it was coming, Lord. You told us what we didn't do, and we thank you for your mercies.
Earthquake in Jamaica, 5.
People, my brother says not an earthquake. If you just throw onto all this go. But Israel go have meeting with the Prime Minister.
This was the scariest earthquake I've ever felt.
Mommy. Mommy.
What you say happened to you?
I say all of me inside a shake up, all of me inside because I'm in.
That was really a tragic experience. I never really experienced a earthquake like that before.
Fire. Earthquake shook up. No wicked man around 9 people.
Earthquake in Jamaica today.
It's a fake because somebody has shake up their phone.
Earthquake in Jamaica.
No, everybody I got all kind of something a shake up like.
Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. I'm down and done. I pack the packing and let them think them turn over. Mash dash it. This is earthquake in ILO.
Oh, this is ILO.
Look at this. Yeah. I'm down with them. I pop the pattern and let them think them turn over. Dash over. This is aftershock. Oh my God. This is high-low. This is high-low.
Oh, so it was high-low.
Look
okay.
Likkle. High-low. Stay away of earthquake.
If you
Scenes from Jamaica's 5.2 earthquake.
I wonder what happened at school. High school then. This is earthquake in Portland. Alright, this is one house where they're showing the damage that was done. Yeah. That's showing the damages that was done. Wow. It is so sad. Alright, let me get the Andrew video. Wow. This is so sad. Well, at least nobody lost their life, so that's a good look. Alright, let me find the Andrew video. Or Andrew talk. Jamaica. Oh, but probably it's on Facebook. What was this? Alright, I'm trying to find a video with Andrew Allness talking about the earthquake. Where is it? Oh, well, that sound like earthquake. Number 2. Oh, well, that just sound like earthquake a while ago. Alright. Okay, play this.
Portland. The damage assessment so far is that damage has been minor, but nevertheless, we are taking all precautions. All the necessary protocols have been activated. Here at the office of the Prime Minister, the NWA will be doing an assessment to ensure that the building is safe for Cabinet to resume. At this point, I want to say to all Jamaicans, remain calm. It is likely that after the initial shock, there are usually aftershocks. So
basically, this is the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Andrew Allness, giving his press conference after the 5.4 or 6 or 5 earthquake in Jamaica. And when after me play all of this, my last part of this video, I'm gonna read a Louise Bennett poem called Earthquake Night. So you're not gonna know where you wait and hear that poem they read, because it's gonna be similar to some of the stuff that was shown, I guess, in the video. Alright, I could hear what Andrew has to say.
Has just experienced an earthquake. The preliminary measurement of the earthquake is that it's approximately 5.6 in magnitude, centered somewhere in Buff Bay in Portland. The damage assessment so far is that damage has been minor, but nevertheless, we are taking all precautions. All the necessary protocols have been activated. Here at the office of the Prime Minister, the NWA will be doing an assessment to ensure that the building is safe for Cabinet to resume. At this point, I want to say to all Jamaicans, remain calm. It is likely that after the initial shock, there are usually aftershocks. So you want to be in a safe place. That safe place may be outside until you have conducted an assessment of the building and you have determined that it is safe to re-enter the building. Again, remain calm, follow all the protocols regarding earthquakes and general safety. All our protocols have been activated, and generally, what we have seen is that the damage that has been assessed is not significant, but nevertheless, we are taking all precautions. Just to be clear, we have experienced some break in electricity and communications, but the report so far is that most have been restored. Our airports are open, and we have not received any reports of death. And so we give God thanks for sparing us the worst. Everyone in Jamaica would know that we have experienced probably.
All right, so basically that was earlier today when Andrew Holness, gave his little press conference after the earthquake. There is another one. Office of the Prime Minister press conference. Let me see how long this is. 3 hours ago. But before I go there, I'm gonna look at what are the causes of earthquakes, because everybody talk, oh, earthquake this, earthquake that. What caused it? What caused the earthquake? Causes of earthquake. I could do a science lesson right here now. Causes of earthquake. All right, so earthquake is caused, and this is Google, but you don't know, say, I know everything from Google. Whatever, but I could go on. What is Technological University? All right, me look for one credible site. Okay, so what caused the earthquake? Most faults in the Earth's crust. Earthquake is caused by the moving of the fault in the Earth's crust. Alright? So, I like that one. I want something to break it down for the lame. I go for the lame, man. It's a sudden slip on the fault. On a fault. Sudden slip on a fault. So basically, the tectonic plates are slowly moving, but they get stuck at their edges due to friction. What? So below, so we have tectonic plates for each. Let me see if I can explain this quick and fast. For each part of the Earth's oceans and continents. The oceans and the continents have their own plates. That's below the crust, a little bit above the mantle, and that's called the lithosphere. So that's more like, if you see lithospheric plate, it's the same thing. So basically, right a little bit below the lithosphere, you have the semi-solid part of the mantle, and based on that, it allows the Earth lithosphere, which is the crust, to move, right? So basically what scientists say, based on, and these are based on the seismology. These are based on the seismic waves that have been seen. So they use that to measure the movement. No, sometimes there's a sudden movement, and the sudden movement is what is caused, or is what caused the earthquake, right? They're saying that earthquake most times occurs in volcanic region, both by tectonic faults and the movement of magma in volcanoes, because the magma also comes from the mantle and it goes up through the earth's crust, through the cracks and all of that. So it is a lot to process. Earthquake occurs when the ground is subjected to so much force that it fractures or breaks. Most earthquakes are associated with tectonic plate boundaries. So like Jamaica, Jamaica is a part of the Caribbean plate. So you have the Caribbean plate, and then we have the different plates based on the continent. So you'd have North American plate, South American plate. Between North America and South America, you have the Caribbean plate. But you also have the ocean, so you'd have the Atlantic plate.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 5 o'clock here in Kingston, Jamaica. Prime Minister.
The Atlantic plate, you have the Pacific plate based on the ocean. So in between those, you're going to have little cracks and all of that. So basically, you know, that's a little nutshell. I'm not going to know deep lesson right now. All right, so that's what's up. Earthquake happen when two large pieces of the earth's crust suddenly move, and this causes shock waves to shake the surface of the earth in the form of an earthquake. Earthquake always happen upon the edges of the large sections of the earth's crust, which is called the tectonic plates. These plates slowly move over a long period of time. So the sudden movement is what caused the earthquake. Even though they said the tectonic plates move over long periods, and they know that because of different things, but there are times you're gonna have sudden movement, and the sudden movement is what caused the earthquake. Well, me quick hear a little bit more about the update regarding to the earthquake from the Prime Minister of Jamaica. All right. This is the press conference. I never get to hear it, you know. I'm gonna be off of here in another 15 minutes.
By now, everyone in Jamaica that we have experienced probably the most significant earthquake we have experienced in the last 20 years. The earthquake is measured at a magnitude of 5.6. So far, the reports that we have received suggest that we have had some damages, but we wouldn't classify these damage as significant or to have caused any serious dislocation. Nevertheless, the experience has been very traumatic, particularly for our young children who were in school at the time of the earthquake. I have here with me the Minister of Local Government, and I'm going to invite him to give a report on the operations of ODPEM and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Minister.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I want to invite the Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, and the Acting Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management,
ODPEM,
Mr. Richard Thompson, to join me on the microphone. Just to advise the country that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management activated immediately its response mechanism in relation to the tremor that we experienced earlier in the day. The municipal corporations right around the country have been working along with the National Works Agency and other entities to assess the damage in various sections of the country. Particular interest was placed on our infirmaries, and so far the reports that are coming out of the infirmaries is suggesting that everything is okay. I'm going to invite the Director General to give a more detailed insight as to what took place in terms of the work of the organization in coming out with this information for this press briefing.
Thank you very much, Minister. Good afternoon, everyone. As reported earlier, we had an earthquake today measuring 5.6, felt in a number of parishes across the country.
So this is an update regarding the earthquake from the Prime Minister, among other persons. So just let's listen to what they have to say, and then we'll talk some more about it.
Immediately after the earthquake, we made our checks with the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center just to ascertain whether, in fact, we would have been threatened by a tsunami. We were happy to get the information that, given the quake, that there was no tsunami generated and that the country was safe as it relates to that. We continue to do our checks, working closely with the other response entities of the country, predominantly Jamaica Fire Brigade, National Works Agency, all the local authorities, to get the information coming in. The information that came to us was for information around 9 of the parishes across the country, with predominantly information coming out of the Kingston and St. Andrew area of reported damage to infrastructure, some damage to structure, and also in terms of information coming out of the other ministries as it relates to persons generally having some kind of traumatic experience to the incident. What we want to do at this time is to advise the public of some precautionary measures. We preach all the time as it relates to.
So basically what he's saying is that after they had the earthquake, they contacted the Tsunami Warning Center, and that was very good. After they contacted the Tsunami Warning Center to ensure that there was not going to be a tsunami, then they proceed to contact other ministries like the Jamaica Fire Brigade, the National Works Agency, got information from about 9 different parishes with regards to the damage of infrastructure or any traumatic damage. So make we hear what else them say that they want to put in place, or what they are cautioning the public to do.
Duck, cover, hold, the drop, cover, hold principle. And I know sometimes when you have not experienced anything of this nature, you tend to forget some of those principles. I think a lot of persons would have operated in terms of what the organization has been preaching over the years, and some persons didn't. So we are reminding persons just to remember those activities as it relates to earthquake preparedness. We're also asking persons now, some persons would have done it already, to continue to check and inspect your buildings for cracks, shifting your pillars, posts, and other beams and structural members. And if there are any damage of that nature, we ask you to get professional assessment to ensure that your building is relatively safe. One other thing that occurred during the event was that it makes it a little bit difficult for the response personnel to call within their call groups and to have discussion about the event, because many persons were on their phones. We want to take this opportunity to remind persons that during an incident of this nature, we know it gets a little bit dramatic and persons want to call each other, but we are asking persons not to use cell phones during these kind of incidents unless it is absolutely necessary, where there is an emergency happening to you or someone close to you. We're also asking persons, some persons are on their way home, or they would have reached home, to do checks throughout your buildings at home, and also to ensure that you're checking for leaks, especially gas leaks, if you have gas lines running through your homes. And at any time there is an earthquake, we want to ask people to remember, avoid using your elevators within your offices, evacuate through using your staircase, or ensuring that you're having your warden system within offices to manage the movement of your personnel in and out of your building, and also to ensure that your wardens will check your building before you go back into your buildings, and avoid using any kind of match or anything like that can ignite and cause secondary activities as it relates to fire. So those are some of the things that we want to advise the public of, and we continue at the ODPEM to work closely with all our entities to get additional information coming in so we can comprehensively compile and finish our damage assessment. Thank you very much.
So basically, he was also reminding the public of the practice when there's an earthquake to drop, cover, and hold. And my thing is, they need to put these in. They need to have these drills. They need to have earthquake drills like here. Where we stay at, we have tornado drill. Every month we have a fire drill. We also have a lockdown drill. So those are things that they need. I don't know if they're doing it yet, but if they're not doing it in the schools or in workplaces or whatever, especially the schools, they need to have these drills. So he also said, he's from the ODPEM, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Check your buildings, inspect them to see if there's any shift in the foundation, the pillars, and assess the damage of your building. And he's saying to get a professional to assess the damage. And he further went ahead and talk about persons who are, using their cell phones to do videos and all of that or whatever. But he's saying that try to be off the cell phone unless it's an emergency, which is highly likely not going to happen. Now, if you're in a building with elevator, he's asking to avoid taking the elevators and do the staircase instead. And personnel should check the building before you go back in the building. So make we continue for ear wagwan, from this press conference.
Good afternoon, everybody. So our responses today was mainly to do with assessment of buildings. So we didn't get any calls for any fires relating to the tremor.
Oh, this is the fire brigade.
Reports of injuries, even though we know that there are some reported incidents of injuries. Most of the calls we received would have been predominantly in the KSA metropolitan region. We got a call for Church Street for a collapsed structure. That structure was unoccupied, thankfully. And there was also a collapsed structure in St. Thomas, Rumble in St. Thomas. There were no reported injuries because there was nobody at home at the time. We still have teams of firefighters out in the field making assessment. Because like I said, most of what we have been doing since the tremor was felt is to conduct assessment of buildings. Whether they are schools, other government institutions, ministries, agencies and departments. And of course, we'll have some calls from the private sector. And in all of this, we still have Jamaicans who are making prank calls to the fire brigade relating to earthquake this morning. We would have had reports of buildings collapse on Halfway Tree Road. When we turn up, it was falls.
Oh my God, why they do that?
In the corporate area that turned out to be prank. I want to use this medium to
make prank call, man.
Desist from the practice of making
false calls. Oh my God.
What it does is tie up resources that are needed elsewhere. And so it makes
Sure.
our job that much more difficult. So please, desist from the
Let's not
practice
make prank
of
call,
making
man.
prank calls. We continue to do our reconnaissance across the corporate area because that is where we have gotten most of the calls. And we'll continue to tally the assessment as they come in. We are working closely with the municipal corporations in terms of making an assessment and making a judgment call as to whether or not persons can reoccupy the building once they would have exited the building. So we continue that on the ground, and we are hoping that by tomorrow we'll have a better picture as to exactly what we are up against in terms of the number of structures that would have been affected that may necessarily warrant some amount of remedial repairs and so on. So for now, that is what I have to report on from the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
Okay, so basically the Jamaica Fire Brigade did the assessment of the buildings and they were not called for any fire. Thank you, Jesus. But you know, there was a fire in, I don't know if that fire was related to the earthquake, you know, but me hear so one house burned down after me ear down there, so. But me don't know if they really call it fire brigade, but I don't know if it's even related to the earthquake. But anyway, so most of the calls they got was from the Kingston St. Andrew area. There was a collapsed structure in that area as well as there was one in St. Thomas, and basically he's saying that no one was occupying the structure, so that's a blessing. And I want to implore all those persons who were making prank calls and those persons who make prank calls, do not do it. Because when you make the prank calls and they go to that area, then there were some, like there's possible that other more serious situation that need to be looked at cannot get looked at because those persons are in the area of the prank callers. So that is not a good look. Do not make any prank calls. All right, make we hear from somebody else. From somebody else.
Prime Minister, that was a report. A meeting of the National Disaster Response Committee will be convened tomorrow morning for us to look at what took place today and to make plans in going forward. And the country will be updated based on the progress of the information that is being gathered and the outcome of tomorrow morning's meeting, Prime Minister.
Okay. So the
Thank you, Minister, and your team. Now, in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake, there was...
So the National Disaster Response Committee will meet tomorrow, and then they will update the country. So guys, gonna stay tuned for that. Make we hear what Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said now.
A break in communications and in electricity. I'm going to invite Minister Vaz to come and give us an update as to where we are with these utilities. Minister Vaz.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. So I can state that there was some load shedding earlier this morning after the earthquake by the Jamaica Public Service. I'm happy to indicate that the recent report that I have up to half an hour ago is that all areas have been restored. And if there's anyone who does not have, I would like you to please reach out to the JPS immediately so that we can try and see what is happening. But the report that I have is that all areas across Jamaica, electricity has been restored. The other report that I have in relation to portfolio responsibility is the two international airports, the Norman Manley International Airport and, of course, the Sangster International Airport, both fully back up and running without any delays. The JUTC also no issues in terms of the schedules for the rollout of buses. For this afternoon, you'd have seen a buildup of traffic based on, obviously, persons being sent home early and kids being sent home early, but the JUTC is fully up and running. The other important area, obviously, is Petrojam, and that is essential service, and I can indicate, despite rumors that were being circulated, that there's no interruption and no damage to the refinery, and therefore everything will continue as normal for tomorrow morning. Okay. In terms of the maritime space, the Maritime Authority has indicated that there's no disruption in relation to, obviously, our maritime space in terms of vessels coming in and leaving.
Okay.
So for those five critical areas in relation to the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, I can indicate that all is normal. You would have heard, obviously, that the earthquake, the epicenter, was in Portland between Buff Bay and Hope Bay.
Wow.
There has been one report of a collapsed building in a place called Content. There are others reports that are unconfirmed, but obviously
Portland
the
and Buff
authorities
Bay.
will be making checks in relation to, and of course, if there's anybody that has suffered any damage, obviously, we'd ask you to reach out to the authorities within Portland so that we can start to look and do assessments. But assessments will be done. There are some landslides, Prime Minister, colleagues. There are some landslides, obviously, from the disruption in roads, but all is good in terms of the essential services. Thank you.
Anyway, hold on.
Thank you, Minister. I'm going to
Hold
invite
on, Andrew, hold on there, so. All right, so that was Minister Vaz giving the update regarding to the utilities. I think it's science, energy, telecom, and transport. All right, so they're saying that everybody is up and running regarding utilities, airport, JUTC, Petrojam, no interruption, up and running. Maritime space, no disruption, everything is back up and running. The epicenter was basically between Portland and Buff Bay. Buff Bay, that's where me come from. You remember that song there? So that's what's up. Right now, I could hear who else Andra go call up.
Minister Matthew Samuda to give a brief report on our water system.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Just to advise that we have been doing our checks. There's no major damage to any of our water systems. As the public should be aware, we have over 750 pump stations. We are going through the process of checking each one to ensure there hasn't been any major damage. We have completed the checks of the Mona Reservoir and its associated systems. There is no damage there. We are going through the process related to the Yalas pipeline and indeed the Hermitage Dam, which we know is aged infrastructure. We do expect that in the coming days we will see a few pipe breaks, especially where you have older ductile iron pipes because of the amount of seismic activity that we would have seen today.
Wow.
But, Prime Minister, we will continue to monitor the situation very carefully, and we will be checking the larger systems first, and we will complete our assessment in the next 48 hours. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Matthew Samuda from Water Systems, and he's saying they have 750 pump stations. I never know so much pump station they have at Jamaica. The Mona Reservoir, no damage. Yalas Pipeline, they're still looking into all those others. And he's anticipating that there will be some kind of disruption in the pipeline, in one of the pipelines, especially those that's older. However, you know, within the next 48 hours, they will have an update.
So I have here with me our national engineers, the NWA. I know that there would be significant concerns, particularly in areas close to the epicenter, where the soil type is such that it would be susceptible to this kind of seismic activity. So I'm going to invite Mr. E.G. Hunter to come and give us a report, both on any landslides that have taken place, blockage of road infrastructure, or any damage to our built civil infrastructure, bridges, etc. Please come to the podium, E.G.
Thank you, PM. Good afternoon, everyone. Just returning from a reconnaissance visit, I'd like to report that in respect to road and bridge infrastructure, fortunately, we have not suffered any damage of any significance. There has been a few landslides, mostly in the eastern part of the country, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, but our parish teams have been mobilized, and these will be dealt with precipitously. We obviously will continue the assessment in the next couple of days. Fortunately for us, most of our bridge infrastructure is built to modern standards. They have been designed for to be earthquake resistant, and the evidence is that they have stood up reasonably well so far. In response to a specific request made by the Prime Minister, we also did a rapid assessment of a number of important government buildings, starting with the Office of the Prime Minister. Based on the assessment that we did this morning, we concluded that there was no structural damage to the building, and it was the buildings were ready for habitation. We also visited the Minister of Finance at Hero Circle. There is a noticeable separation of two buildings, so the older buildings, Block E and Block F. And based on our initial assessment, we have concluded that the buildings can be occupied, but there is a stairwell which joins the two buildings, and that has separated.
Where is that?
So we've recommended, and I've spoken with the administrative head of the Ministry of Finance, we have recommended that that stairwell not be used until remedial work has been carried out. We also inspected the main building, G Block. There are a few cracks, but they are not structural in nature, so we do not perceive any issue with that. We also visited the Shalimar complex in Vineyard Town. Unfortunately, one of the buildings there has been sufficiently damaged to the point where I've spoke with the financial secretary, and it's our recommendation that that building not be used until certain structural support has been put in place.
Wow.
Our team will return tomorrow, and in association with representatives from the Ministry of Finance, we will scope the required works which are required to make that particular building habitable. But until then, we recommend that that building not be occupied. We also visited the Office of the Accountant General on Dominica Drive in response to a particular request. They too had a few surface cracks, but nothing structural, and it's our recommendation that that building can be occupied tomorrow in the normal vein.
Okay.
And finally, we concluded our reconnaissance at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in downtown Kingston. That building is a 10-story building. It sits on, I think, 70 4-foot diameter concrete piles which go down 100 feet each. And is therefore structurally quite robust, in spite of the fact that there are a few surface cracks. There's nothing which is structural, and so that building is fit for habitation, and remedial works to the building will comprise basically surface and aesthetic enhancements. So that accounted for what we did. Okay, so as I indicated before, the major issues that we have, particularly in the eastern and northeastern parishes, relates to rock slides, and those will be dealt with by our, in fact, those are now being dealt with by our parish staff. As you may recall, we've been having rains in that general area for the last week or so, and so it's business as usual. The parish team will respond to those rock slides. So we don't anticipate that any of those roads will be compromised to the extent that they won't be usable. Thank you.
Thank you, EJ. I'm now going to invite Minister Tufton, who will tell us about the human side of the disaster. The trauma that people have been experiencing as a result of this earthquake. Minister Tufton.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister, colleague ministers, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. So, Prime Minister, we did a fairly extensive assessment since morning. We were actually on the 7th floor of the ministry's head office when the quake shook, and it was quite a traumatic experience for us. So I can well imagine the rest of the country or those who experienced it. However, there are two elements of it quickly. The northeastern, western, and southern regional health authorities have not suffered too many damage in terms of their hard infrastructure. The quake was felt, but it wasn't nearly as intense as on this side where we are, which is the Southeast Regional Health Authority. Majority of the facilities, however, having been inspected, remain intact, except for a few. In St. Thomas, no major damage. Operations continue as normal, both at the primary and secondary level. Some facilities have been closed, just out of taking caution and doing some further inspections. In St. Catherine, we had a few incidents. An autoclave fell on at Greater Portmore, was damaged. Some structural damage at Waterford Health Centre and Old Harbour Health Centre, which requires some assessment. There remain minor cracks at Spanish Town Hospital, but operations not affected. There were 14 children seen at the Accident and Emergency Department of the Spanish Town Hospital with episodes of anxiety. They were clinically stable, reassured, and sent home. 2 patients were seen at the Linston Hospital in relation, of course, to the quake. In Kingston and St. Andrew, 5 primary care facilities noted some structural damage, mostly minor, but a full assessment is to be done. These are Waterford, Harbourview, Bull Bay, Mavis Bank, Stony Hill, and Edna Manley. Some facilities are still without electricity and water, but it's being restored gradually. I think Minister Vaz spoke to that. Public hospitals are operational, all public hospitals with minor damage. Bustamante Hospital for Children, Kingston Public, and Victoria Jubilee, and St. Joseph's. At St. Joseph's, the damage was really the field hospital. We had to relocate the patients from the main building. And the National Chest Hospital, Hope Institute, and Sir John Golding were not affected. The University Hospital of the West Indies had some structural damages. I think you spoke to that. It was primarily the administration building, and they were asked to vacate until a more intense assessment is done. And the private entities, St. Andrew, Natal, and Medical Associate, reported no damage. In terms of visits to the Accident and Emergency, Prime Minister and colleagues, Bustamante Hospital, Kingston Public, and the University Hospitals have all reported increased visits to their emergency departments, cases involving primarily students and suffering from anxiety. KPH had 1 trauma patient who fell from a tree with a resultant musculoskeletal injury. Bustamante Hospital reported injuries in children from nearby primary schools. At 3 p.m., 21 children were brought in from 6 primary schools. 4 were admitted for observation, 3 with mild head injury. 1 post-seizure is a known epileptic patient. All are clinically stable, and 10 have been discharged so far, while others are awaiting observation period to be completed. Most were anxious and had no physical injuries. So, generally speaking, as is the case that we expect with emergencies of this kind, natural disasters, the result is trauma, depression, anxiety, stress. And so we're going to be putting out some advisory from the ministry to identify some of the symptoms of that, which includes difficulty breathing, chest and muscle pains, feeling faint, dazed or lightheaded, stomach aches, feeling of anger, anxiety, and so on. And that can be a challenge in terms of persons going about their normal life. And so we recommend to Jamaicans who may be experiencing those symptoms to, firstly, they can consult their doctor, whether in the private or public space. I must say that the accident and emergency wards are full for the most part, particularly the urban centers, because of other issues. But if you have to, you should. But there are other less intense
ways to manage these types of mental wellness or mental health challenges. Talking to a friend or family member, encourage others to remain safe, getting rest, reestablishing a return to routine, and just asking for help if you need that help. Prime Minister, we will continue to monitor the environment. We have activated the emergency response unit, and that monitoring will continue both at the level of assessing the structural infrastructure but also the human impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. The purpose of this press conference is to reassure our public. Whenever there are disasters, it lends itself to a feeling of uncertainty. And I got a sense today that though the earthquake compared to earthquakes in other areas in other countries did not result in significant damage, it certainly had a psychological impact. And in fact, we know that in the 9 parishes that were affected or felt the earthquake, there was some disruption in our economic and social activity, particularly in Kingston, where our workforce, the majority of our workforce would have been sent home early, out of consideration for everyone's safety and mental well-being. So tomorrow, I want the country to come back to work. But when we come back to work, it is with the knowledge and understanding of what we need to do in order to be prepared. We can't stop these natural events from happening, but we must be resilient. We must be prepared. And a part of our preparation is that your government must provide you with information, particularly in today's world, where you would have heard from the head of our fire brigade and others, that misinformation is indeed a part of our society. Some people may think it's fun.
Well, guys, I'm gonna stop this video right now. Let me know what you think about what's going on, and basically we want to say we're happy that a lot of stuff didn't happen in terms of anything really major. One thing I saw was where they had some kids were taken to the hospital for mild head injury. 10 was discharged. Some had anxiety, trauma, and all of that, which is expected because they're not used to any type of those natural disasters. So that's basically it right now. I'm gonna have to end this live. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, hit the like button, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload another video or whenever I go live. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.